Greetings, our Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. This is L.D. Smith, the watchman on the wall. Your watchman, Israel. Israel, it is our Sabbath. Grab that King James. But first and foremost, we want to give a shout out to the whole family. Happy Sabbath, Israel. Now, that being said, we're going to go into our teaching tonight. We got a fine teaching as always. And my sisters and brothers, I ask you to read along, and I ask you to think about everything that is transpiring. I want you to think about the wording and think about what you're hearing and what you're reading. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Most High will give you a clear understanding. Now, that being said, let us go into our teaching tonight. We're going to be dealing with the Gentiles. And we're going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Noah's grandchildren, not Noah, had anything to do with the Gentiles at all. And I know that there has been a misunderstanding in the scriptures, but like I said, I want you to read along, and I want you to think about what we're saying, and like I said, I know the Most High will give you a clear understanding. Now let us go forward here, and this is the scripture here that tricks everybody up here in Genesis the 10th chapter. Now we're going to read this, and then I'm going to bounce back and forth from different books, and I'm going to prove to you beyond a shadow of a doubt. This is going to be crystal clear. And you're going to see that Noah kids and grandkids had absolutely nothing to do with the Gentiles at all. Now, let us go here. And we're going to start with Genesis in chapter 10, verses 1. And we're going to read on over to verses 5, okay? And then we're going to bring out some stuff in there. And as I said, I'm going to think about it. Now it says, now these are the generations of the sons of Noah. Okay, it's going to tell you about the generations of the sons of Noah. Now watch right here now. But now keep in mind that he's talking about the sons of Noah, because once we get on down in the teaching, you're going to see that the teaching is going to break up, and it's going to be talking about a lot of other things. But see, people incorporate all these things into one, and then say, well, okay, well, the Gentiles is Noah's grandkids. And that's not true. Now let's go forward here. It says, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. Now see here now. Think about this. Think about this right here now. Think about it. Think about what you just heard. Noah's sons already having kids. They're already having children. They're already having children after the flood. Am I right or wrong? It's right in the pages. I'm right. Noah's kids is already having kids, so grandchildren are already there. Now, what I want to establish with you guys here is that in time, Noah's kids, they're grown, and then they have kids, right? And then they appropriate and keeps on going. All right. Now, in a span of time. Now I want you guys to keep this in mind. Keep in mind a span of time. Okay, because these kids, Noah's sons, they're having children, and time is still going. Time does not stop. Time is still going. But I'm going to show you some key things in here to show you that there's a lot of children being born even before they break off. Now stay with me, and I'm gonna prove it to you now. Okay, now let's go on down here and read verse 2. It says, the sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Medad, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tyrus. Okay, all of these grandchildren. He goes on, he says, and the sons of Gomer, Ashkar, and Rephat, and Tugal, and the sons of Javan. See that? Eli, Shat, and Tasha, Kittim, and Don't a none. Okay, now all of these are grandchildren. See what I'm saying? Already. Now my question to anybody. Now you think about this right now. Just think about this for a second before I go any further. If these were Gentiles, don't you think he would call them Gentiles? Right now, they have a name. And I can pronounce all these names here correctly. But they have a name. All these grandchildren have a name. And not one of them's name is Gentile. Not one. But see, but when you have been taught by someone who doesn't know the scriptures and God is not speaking to them, then you look at it and it looks like what they're saying is true. But if you just think about what we just read, and I only read two or three verses. I mean, we got many more to go through, but I'm not even halfway through. And you can see right here that none of these grandchildren is called Gentiles. They have a name. It's right in the page, my brothers and sisters. I mean, this thing is crystal clear. I mean, the Most High has to show you this. If he doesn't show it to you, you will not see it. Now let's go a little further here. Look what he says here in verse 5. It says, by these were the isles of the Gentiles. Now you can clearly see. They went down by these islands. And they started living down there. And the Gentiles were down there. Now let me show you that I know what I'm talking about. Now look here. It says, divided in their lands. Japhet's sons and his brother's sons, all of them divided their land down here by the Gentiles. Not that the Gentiles came out of them, neither through them. See, what one has to understand is the Most High never spoke about the Gentiles until here. But my brothers and sisters, everything that was alive after the flood was on the ark. Did you hear what I say? They were on the ark. Now, I'm going to prove what I said because let's go to Genesis chapter 7. Let's go there. See, because if you see it, and you, like I said, I want you to think about it. Honestly, all I want you to do is just think about it. And I know the Most High will give you an understanding. Now let's look at Genesis chapter 7. Let's look at Genesis chapter 7, and then we're gonna go back and I'm gonna show you. Let's go to. I'll tell you what. Let's go to Genesis chapter 1. Well, no, let's do this first. Let's do 7 first, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna show you some things. Let's look at Genesis chapter 7, verse 11. Let's look at it. It says in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, okay, the 17th day of the month, the same day where when the fountains of the great deep broke up, and the window of heaven was open, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Okay, and how far I want to go on this video? Okay, we're going to keep on reading. It says, in the self-same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and their 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark. Okay, they and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that crept upon the earth after its kind. See that? And every fowl of his kind, and every bird of his sort. It says, and they went in unto Noah into the ark 2 by 2. See what I'm saying? Okay, so we had 2 by 2. So in other words, it was 8 males altogether. 4 males and then 4 females. Okay, of every sort, of every kind. All right, of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. See that? He says, and they went in went in male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. Okay, now, every creature that was upon the face of the planet, is shut in. Now, let's go back to Genesis. Now, let me show you something here. Let's go back to Genesis chapter 1. Let's look at verses 26. It says, and God said, let us make man in our own image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish, sea, the cattle, all right there. So it says, so God created man in his own image, and in the image of him he created him, male and female. Created he them. So we see here that God has already created a man and a woman. And then he tells them, he blessed them, and then give them the dominions over all the creatures, right? Now let's jump over here to chapter 2 in Genesis, and let's look at verses 7 here. It says, and the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground. So here is God forming this man called Adam from the dust of the earth. All right, now, and now we're gonna move on. Let's go to Genesis in chapter 2. Let's stay in there, and let's look at 17 and 18. It says, Genesis chapter 2, verse 17 and 18. Now we already see God has formed him a man from the dust of the earth, and he also created another man and a woman and gave them the dominion outside of this garden that he is going to make for Adam. Okay, now it says here to let you know that God, to prove that God had two different people. I mean 4 people here on the planet. Now let's look at this right here, because it says in 17, it said, but of the tree of knowledge and good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest of, therefore thou shalt surely die. And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. But now, if I know many want to say that what I'm saying is not true, but how can God say that it's not good for man to be alone? Over here in Genesis chapter 2 and in Genesis chapter 1, he created a man and a woman over there. See, so we can clearly see that there was a man and a woman that was created before he formed Adam out of the dust of the ground. So now he is created, he's going to make a woman a helpmate for the man that he created out of the ground. So, but what I'm trying to draw a picture of here is that these people here that God has already made, now he told them, before he made Adam, go out and be fruitful and multiply. He told them. See, so we know that everything that God told them to do, they did it. So they had children. Okay, now let's look at this again in chapter 2, verse 18. It says, and the Lord said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmate for him. All right, now we know the story. All of you guys that have been with us for any time at all, y'all know the story, and how he put Adam and Eve out, and then he drove the man out, and he clothed Adam, he killed an animal and then put fur on Adam and Eve and told them, y'all go ahead on. But anyway, the point that I'm making is that there are other people on the planet. Okay? Now, let's go a little further here. Let's go to Genesis chapter 3, and let's look at verses 4 and 5. It says, that the one I want? 4 and 5. It says about the serpents. Let's look at Genesis chapter 6.